Welcome back to Locked On Buffs. I appreciate you guys for tuning in every single day. We are free and available wherever you get your podcast. And let's just talk about it. We all love free things, and we all love hard-hitting sports analysis. And that's what we do here on Locked On Buffs and at the Locked On Podcast Network. We have every sport, every team imaginable. So go check us out. Let's talk about Shedeur Sanders. He is a projected, we'll call it, I would say in most drafts, I see him around going around number 8, number 5. So he's a projected top 10 pick, right? Through for these. This was a stat line last year: 3,200 yards, 27 touchdowns, 3 picks, QBR of 63.1, completed 69% of his passes, which was slightly under his career high of 70.6. So what can he do to sort of have a breakout year? Why am I talking about a Shedeur Sanders breakout year? Well, I just think the team around him is better. I think the offense that he's playing in is better. And so I think when you add 2 + 2 = 4, and right now we're doing some 2 + 2, let's talk about the offense being better. One, new offensive line. Last year, he was sacked, and this is not an exaggeration. It always feels like an exaggeration when I bring this number up. He was sacked 52 times, which was 58. It was 6 less times, right? Or he was sacked, or I think my math is wrong there. Wow, that was brutal. He was sacked a total of 58 times in his 2 years at Jackson State, which was 6 more times than his 1 year at Colorado. So let's just assume that he's not going to be getting sacked 50 whatever times, right? Let's assume the offense line's better. They bring in around 11 new guys. You got Jordan Seaton, you got Tyler Johnson, Justin Mayers, Khalil Benson, all these guys. What does that mean for Shedeur? Well, more time equals more money, More time equals more money, basically, because the more time Shedeur has to make decisions, the more money throws he's going to make, the more money he's going to make everyone else. That's just how it works out. I think the better the offense line is, the better the passing game is, the better the run game is, the better Shedeur is, because now it opens up the play action. Colorado had no play action game last year because I think if they tried to, defenses would be like, LOL, they think we're gonna fall for that. No, everyone knew they weren't running the ball, because why would they run the ball? They weren't good enough to run the ball. So that's one aspect. 2, it's a new offense. Also, wide receiver unit. Oh my goodness. I thought last year's wide receiver, Xavier Weaver, Travis Hunter, Jimmy Horn, I thought that trio was great. I really did. I thought that was one of the more underrated ones in college football. This year, you have Travis Hunter, you have Jimmy Horn back, that duo. You bring in Will Shepherd. You bring in Omarion Miller, who was a star for one week against USC. Like half the game, he was a star, and then he just disappeared. But he's back. And then you have LeJounte Wester, one of the fastest guys in the country, who could do it all on special teams. He's dynamic after the catch. Shedeur just has to get the ball in the hands of his playmakers, which he will, because he's as accurate as they come. He's as smart as they come. He will, and they're going to make plays. Also, let's talk about the very offense that I kind of criticized a little bit in the first segment. Pat Shurmur, while I do think he has some game management issues, and I do think he really needs to work on establishing the run at Colorado here, his offense is one that Shedeur likes. He says it's more catered to his skill set. He says he's going to be calling the shots, whereas the receivers last year were the ones picking what routes they ran based on the offense and based on what was called. Now it's up to Shedeur and the receivers to be on the same page. And Shedeur's a hell of a communicator. He's a hell of a field general. And so I think that he is poised to have a bigger year. Like, this is like if he threw for 3,200 yards last year, 27 touchdowns, I think this year we're approaching over 4,000 yards, probably 35 tuds. I feel like that feels fair. Interceptions wise, I don't know. Is he going to throw more, less? I'm not sure. I feel like he's really good at protecting the ball. Do I think he may force a couple things now that he's the one calling shots? Maybe. Who knows? Like, is he the victim of fluke plays? Because the Big 12 is very fluky at times, where you get a tip here, a tip ball there, and all of a sudden you just throw an interception. But I do think Shedeur Sanders is poised for a breakout year. Comment below, what do you think his stat line will look at? So give me yards, touchdowns, and then completion percentage. So that way we could compare, contrast in the comment section. When we come back, I'm going to be talking about why Colorado is the perfect fit in the Big 12.